Well, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing the very first comparison that I'm recording. I don't know if it's going to be the very first one that I'm doing, though, or uploading of the iPhone 11 and comparing it to the newer iPhone 12, which is on the right. Now, I've been using the iPhone 12 for about like an hour and a half, so this is not going to be a full review or anything. But I wanted to compare these two, see, if you should go upgrade from an iPhone 11 to the 12, all that good stuff, and pretty much the main differences. Now, I'm going to basically tell you the price wise. The iPhone 11 is starting off at $599 brand new, but you can pick it up on Amazon for actually cheaper than that. With the iPhone 12 is actually $829. Don't believe what everyone tells you, $799. It's pretty much going to cost you $829, which is over $100 increase from what this phone was from last year. This is $599. This is $829. There's quite a bit of difference here in terms of price tag, but I'll find the cheapest ones on Amazon. Link it down in the description below. You can get them both from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, the panel wise, first of all, side by side, I kind of said this before, they both kind of feel like this, they kind of look the same. But the very interesting thing about the iPhone 11 is that it kind of looks like it has a little bit less bezel overall than the iPhone 11. And that has a lot to do with the side panel, or that's just the side of the phone. You can see the iPhone 12, the biggest selling point of it is the flat design now. With the iPhone 11, on the other hand, has that, curved design that's been around for a while. And I kind of like the curved design I kind of like both, to be honest. The flat design I like a little bit more, but for some reason on the iPhone 12, it kind of gives me a weirder feeling, which I'll explain further on. But panel-wise in the screens, we also got a humongous upgrade coming from the iPhone 11 screen to the iPhone 12. But honestly, like when I'm looking at them both, like one doesn't really look way better than the other one, if I'm being honest. Like if I had an iPhone 11 panel, I definitely probably wouldn't go up to the iPhone 12 just because of the panel. But you have 6.1-inch displays on both. The iPhone 11 had that IPS panel though, and the resolution of it was 828 by 1792. Did it feel like a super bad panel anytime I used it? Could I tell it was horrible? No, it was not a bad display at all. It wasn't horrible. It was just, when you, in the back of your head, you know it's not an OLED panel, you know it's not 1440p or whatever, and maybe to some people that's a big deal. To me, it kind of was, but I kind of got used to it with the 10R, and with the iPhone 11, it's a very predictable panel. And the fact that this phone was $699, I was already expecting it to, my expectations were kind of set at that point, and they had decreased the price point from the 10R, so it kind of made it a pretty good deal in my opinion. The panel wasn't an OLED panel at the time because it was a cheaper phone, but now Apple went ahead and switched it over to an OLED panel on the iPhone 12, which I like. It actually, maybe it looks a little bit better, maybe I'm just not used to it, or maybe I haven't been using it as much, but I think that's a pretty cool thing too. Having a better panel is always good, and having an OLED panel that's higher resolution, we have 1170 by 2532, and that in and of itself is a really good thing too. Pixel per pixel, we have more pixels per inch on the iPhone 12 than on the iPhone 11, so that's a really big deal. However, when I look at them side by side, honestly, I don't really think I see a crazy big difference, if I'm being completely honest. I'm looking at them both at an angle. I've looked at them both head on and everything. And if you're going day to day, if you're trying to go from one thing to the other, I don't think you're going to notice that big of a difference. I really didn't see that big of a difference between my iPhone 11 and my 11 Pro or my 11 Pro Max. I know the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max have better panels. Same case here. I know this one has a better panel, but this one on the iPhone 11 is still good enough for the most people. Now, putting them both side by side right here, and I can tell you guys right now, this video is going to be super long. You can see that the thickness, it maybe, for some reason, the iPhone 12 does feel a little bit thicker in the hand, but that has to do with the curved design on the iPhone 11. And perfect analogy, something like a Galaxy S20 will always feel like a thin device no matter how thick that screen is or how big that panel is, just because of the curved edge. And with the curvedness on the iPhone 11, it feels better in the hand. It feels like you can secure it a little bit better. This is a super old design, by the way. The flat sides, that was kind of there before. I mean, I guess the curved design was always there, but this is a pretty old design too that I was already used to. And there's pros and cons to it too, which I'll get into some more cons in a second. But I feel like the iPhone 11 feels like a little bit thinner, but the iPhone 12 maybe a little bit thinner. Apple said it was 11 or 15% thinner or whatever, and that's not really a good thing in my opinion. And on the back, extremely familiar backs. Now, these both are white versions of the phone. However, we have like a whiter version here. We have like a tanner version here. I really don't get it. It is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it. But this is kind of like a pinkish hue. This is like white, so I don't really know what they're doing. You have that MagSafe charger back here too. But other than that, to be completely honest, that really pretty much covers up the outside for the most part. You know, you have IP68 dust and water resistance on both, but you can now actually go 6 meters of water for 30 minutes on the iPhone 12. On the iPhone 11, you could do 2 meters of water for 30 minutes. Is it a big deal to you? Probably not. I would not upgrade just because of that. If you get water on either one of these, it's going to be okay, but the iPhone 12 will be able to handle more damage to it. Now, one thing that I saw that was very interesting is when I feel both in the hand, I just get this feeling, and I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I kind of get the feeling that the iPhone 11, 12 feels a little bit hollow inside of it. Like when I press on the sides, like I feel like I could like bend this thing. If I even bend it a little bit, I really don't want to, but I feel like this phone could actually bend. It reminds me a lot of the iPad Pro, at least the third generation or whatever, maybe the fourth gen too. The iPhone 11, I don't feel like this phone's going anywhere. And this is the first time Apple's been back to this design, so I'm wondering if a lot of people are going to see that. I want to see people do a bend test on this phone. I'm not going to do it because I'm broke and I don't want to buy another phone, but I want to see somebody else do it. So let me know in the comment section if somebody does it. But in terms of the outside, I think that's as pretty thorough as I can make it. Now, in terms of the software, this is a pretty easy one. They're both running iOS. There's nothing we can really change about it. Realistically, the iPhone 12 will last like 1 year longer than the iPhone 11. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want a longer lasting phone potentially, then get the iPhone 12. But I feel like the iPhone 11 is going to last pretty much just as long. If you get either of these phones now, you will probably end up breaking the phone or upgrading the phone before either one of these end in software. So that's a really important thing. I wouldn't even, worry about which one has what. They both have exactly the same software features. There's not like something that the iPhone 12 can do that the iPhone 11 can't do, and really vice versa. Besides that MagSafe charging and charging at a faster speed, the iPhone 11 is really like 99% of what the iPhone 12 is, just in a little bit of a different body. So in terms of the outside, in terms of software, that pretty much covers it up. Now I'll go ahead and do a speed test. That's not going to be a full one. It's just going to be kind of a quick one. I'll do a full one hopefully in another video. I have like 30,000 videos I have to do with these. So the iPhone 11, as we all pretty much know, has that Apple A13 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU with 4 gigabytes of RAM on each model. With the iPhone 12, has that Apple A14 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU, and 4 gigabytes on each model here. So let's go and see which one is the fastest one between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, let me go ahead and get a good thumbnail. Let me go ahead and clear out on all the apps in the background. Should only take a second. Are we already whopped out? Okay, so the iPhone 12 is already done. Now I did download a lot of similar apps between these. I'm probably not going to get through every single one, but let's do phone 3, 2. Okay, I already screwed it up. Let me just open it up here. Safari 3, 2, 1. Let me go and load up some web pages. Let me just open up this one for sure. Let's go into Apple 3, 2, 1. And iPhone 12, oh, that was some difference. I didn't even think there was going to be a difference here. I thought it was a pretty basic test, but as you kind of saw scrolling through, they both are going to be kind of the same. The iPhone 12 is just sliding all over the place, so if you're keeping it on a table, it's going to slide. Do music 3, 2, 1. Similar pop-ups, I'm sure. Okay, oh, thank God. And I'm kind of seeing now that the iPhone 12 panel does look a lot warmer than the iPhone 11's panel. And I don't know what's going on here, so I'll probably give that one to the iPhone 12. App Store 3, 2, 1. And you can definitely see the iPhone 12 was faster there. I don't know how much of this is a network issue, so I'll let you guys kind of, beef about it in the comment section if it's network or if it's phone speed. Scrolling through, they look about the same on both too, so not a ginormous difference here. And even kind of just the animations seem about the same on both. Even just like the few apps that I downloaded, they both kind of seem the same. We can do calendar 3, 2, 1. Pretty sure I'm going to get 50 pop-ups on both, about the same. We can do clock 3, 2, 1. A little bit of a glitch it seemed like on the iPhone 11, but it still seemed fine. I want to do settings 3, 2, 1. Now that was a pretty basic app, and you kind of still saw there that the iPhone 12 may have been a little bit faster, so that was pretty interesting too. Now I have a bunch of these third-party apps that I guess we can go and get into. We can do Snapchat, which I'm already logged into here, so I'm not going to do it. We can do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And it looks like the iPhone 12 is noticeably faster. And, I've seen time and time again, some phones are faster, some phones are slower. It looks to be here that the iPhone 12 may actually be noticeably faster. And if you remember last year with my iPhone 10s versus my iPhone 11 or whatever, I don't remember, I was seeing that they were pretty close hand in hand. There wasn't really one that was like, I was like, wow, it's so much faster. They both were hand in hand. It wasn't until I got to like the iPhone 10 that I was starting to see pretty big differences. Both 3, 2, 1, or maybe even the iPhone 7. They were like the iPhone 10 to 10s were really good phones. This one, okay, was whatever. Dropbox 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 12 was definitely faster there. Quizlet 3, 2, 1. iPhone 12 again faster, just by a little bit. Netflix 321. I don't want to make iPhone 11 users feel super bad about owning a phone like this because it's really not that slow. And it's so funny, right when I said that, the slowest app just opened. We can do Snake vs. Blocks 321. It just seems like I'm seeing like really consistent speed on the iPhone 12. It seems to be consistently faster. Typically, it's like one app's a little bit faster on one phone than the next one is faster. And I mean, I've seen it time and time again with the most Android phones that came out this year. The Galaxy S20, Note 20, Note 20 Ultra, OnePlus 8, OnePlus 8T. But this one seems to be consistently faster than its predecessor. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. And I think I even saw it last year with the iPhone 11. Like sometimes the 11 was faster, sometimes the 10R. This one, iPhone 12 again, is the faster one here. Now, I said before in the conspiracy, but I'm not even going to say it again. Stack 3, 2, 1. I don't think you guys really want to hear it anymore. I'm like ranting today, dude. I think the iPhone 12 was slightly faster. Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. I've been having really bad luck with Fruit Ninja recently too. For some reason, it's not opening on any of my devices, but it looks like the iPhone 12 again is the faster one here. Getting into Facebook, 3, 2, 1. Pretty fast here. I guess I was logged in. I didn't even know I was logged in here. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 12 again is the faster one. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to say this one, but again, I was logged in here, so a little bit different. Paper IO 2, 3, 2, 1. And Paper IO 2 was faster on the iPhone 12. Now, it's a pretty big game, so I kind of want to get into some gameplay and already died on that phone, but I mean, we kind of saw that the iPhone 12 was faster still. We can go and end it off with the Real Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. I think this has been the most consistent speed comparison that I've done. It didn't have to download on any phone, didn't have to like reboot on anything. It just was kind of, there, which I'm really happy about. Usually I have to redo this like 50,000 times. The iPhone 12 was faster there, as you guys saw again, with the iPhone 11 was a little bit slower. Now, this is my consensus from the speed comparison. In my opinion, I think the iPhone 12, as you guys saw, I'm not even trying to make this up. It's not like I did it behind you guys' back. RAM management was pretty much the same though, but speed-wise, I think the iPhone 12 is the consistently faster one, and I'm not scared to say it. I think the iPhone... Did you guys just see that? Why did the iPhone 12 just reboot that where the iPhone 11 was able to keep that in the background? That is very weird. I'm going to continue doing this. I mean, I've seen time and time again, sometimes the newer phones have bad time at RAM management, and it seems to be the case kind of. That one was kind of close. This one looked like it rebooted too. Speed-wise, though, the iPhone 12 is definitely the faster one. I'm not scared to say it. I think the iPhone 12 is the faster one. RAM management, though, I mean, they have the same amount of RAM, so I'm kind of seeing, I guess, the same type of, rebooting going on both. Yeah, I think it's fair to say they both kind of are rebooting the same exact times, but it's still kind of weird. I was expecting maybe a little bit better in RAM management from the iPhone 12. As you can see, the iPhone 11 did reboot there. I'll probably tell you the iPhone 12 is the faster 100%. I'm not even going to say it's a little bit slower. It is 100% faster. The iPhone, but RAM management, I don't know what's going on with it. I will probably say I'm expecting more from this device in RAM management. It's not really fair that a device like an iPhone 11 that has been out for a year is outperforming an iPhone 12, a brand new phone that costs more than it in a RAM management section, which is about half, speed-wise, So it's very important that I'm testing that out. I usually skip it, but I'm super happy that I kept it in. So it did reboot the clock. Hopefully this one keeps it. That one did reboot it too. So in my full comparison, I'm probably going further, but I don't want to make this video 40 minutes long. So RAM management, it's kind of in the middle. They both are probably about the same, but speed-wise, the iPhone 12 is the faster one for sure. Now let's go and hit on the cameras. Now we have dual camera setups on the back as expected. The iPhone 12, well, they're both all 12 megapixel sensors. They're all ultra-wide sensors. I don't really need to go in any more further. Now when it comes down to the user interfaces on both, I'm sure you guys can pretty much tell they're exactly the same. It's not like one has way more features. Apparently this one has quick take or whatever. So now it's taking a video. I don't know if the iPhone 11, oh, so the iPhone 11 does have it. So I was assuming that was the only different feature, but they both can still do 4K at 60. You can do 1080p at 240 if you want to do that for some reason. And you have the same ultra wide sensors on both. I honestly wouldn't say one camera is way better than the other one, even just from me looking at it right now. And I've used the iPhone 12 camera for like 10 seconds, not a big difference. Now, I've said this time and time again, with a phone like an iPhone 11, this camera I think was really good last year. The software is a big improvement. It's kind of like the Pixel lineup. The software is really good on this type of phone. There's not a lot of features though, but compared to this phone and the iPhone 12, that's the same problem on both. When you look at phones like the Galaxy S20, those have way more features. There's no other way to put it. So with a phone like the iPhone 12, it's just really, I guess, improving a little bit, but I don't think you're going to notice that big of a difference. Even the front cameras are the same 12 megapixel sensors, same same 4K 60, which is not really a problem. 4K 60 on the front camera is really good. OnePlus just released the OnePlus 8T for over $799, something like that. That can only do 1080p at 30 on the front camera. So this is $599, great camera. And with a phone like the iPhone 12, it's probably going to get you better photos and better videos and everything. We have that ultra wide sensor here too. The user interface looked a little bit smoother though. When I zoomed out, it's not as, finicky as the iPhone 11. So I actually like that. It looks a little bit smoother. And that was a big problem, I think, with previous, even my iPhone 11 Pro. It just kind of zooms out a little bit sketchy sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but definitely when it comes down to the camera, I'll probably give the edge to the iPhone 12. iPhone 11, I like this camera a lot, but because this isn't the newer one, because, it's just going to be better. But I'm going to tell you this, if you have an iPhone 11, I would 100% recommend keeping it. I would not go to the iPhone 12 because of the camera. That is a lousy upgrade. I would not do it. If this camera was a 10 out of 10, the iPhone 11's camera is like a 9.5 out of 10. That's coming from somebody who already owns this phone and owns this phone. I would recommend keeping your iPhone 11. The camera is not a ginormous upgrade. Now, if you're going from an 11 to a 12 Pro, that's a different story. But in this case, the iPhone 11 is still good enough, but the iPhone 12 is better. Now, ending it off with the battery life. This is probably the dumbest area I've ever seen Apple do, and they do this time and time again. I'm not going to do a full battery comparison right now because I'm going to save that for a different video. That's very important. This is kind of like a quick one, just kind of my impressions of it. I can already tell you the iPhone 11 is going to have the better battery life when it comes down to it. This video is 50,000 minutes long already, but I have to say this. The iPhone 11 has a 3,110 milliamp hour battery. The iPhone 12 has a 2,815 milliamp hour battery. When it comes down to it, battery sizes are extremely important. But what Apple did with the iPhone 12 is that not only did they add 5G on it, which maybe people aren't going to use right now, or whatever, and it's only being used when it's on, but people are still going to use it. If they have the ability, they're going to use 5G. But on top of that, they shrunk the battery and they increased the resolution of this display. They increased it. There's more pixels to push. It's a higher resolution display. It's an OLED display, which may save the battery a little bit, but you're pushing more pixels. You have a really high resolution display on a battery size that's like less than an iPhone 7 Plus. Like, I don't know why they did that. And they shrunk the battery size on the iPhone 12 as well, on the 12 Pro. How are you going to make a phone more expensive than its predecessor and, not even put the same size components inside of it? It makes no sense. It's not like they increased the, camera quality by 1,000% or anything. It's pretty much the same phone, so I don't know why they did that. And that's one area where I really don't like about the iPhone 12. I feel like Apple could have done a lot better in the battery life. Now it does have, that Qi wireless charging. It has a MagSafe charger. The iPhone 11 still supports MagSafe and it supports, the wireless charging capacity too. You're going to be getting better battery life, in my opinion, from the iPhone 11 than the iPhone 12. I'll go ahead and do the full video at some point, but that's kind of my synopsis right now. So to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, should you pick up an iPhone 11 or should you pick up an iPhone 12? I'm going to tell you right now, I would not recommend going from an iPhone 11 to the iPhone 12. That's just my opinion. If you have an iPhone 11, 100% keep it. There's no point in getting an iPhone 12. Like I said, I have both these phones right in front of me right now. I have no agenda to push. I'd recommend keeping your iPhone 11 for sure. I mean, it's a great phone still. Now, let me break down some pros and cons for this specific phone if you want to go pick this one up. It's a great price. It's pretty much like 99% of what the iPhone 12 is. It doesn't support 5G, which may be a big problem to you in the future, but I still think for a majority of people out there, 4G is still good enough. You're pretty much connected to Wi-Fi all the time, so it's not really that big of a deal. A great build quality, in some ways maybe even feeling a little bit better. Maybe some people don't like that flat design. You're getting great software life cycle is going to be great. Battery life is awesome on this phone. Performance is great too. About the same RAM management, so it's not like one phone is way better in RAM management than the other. That's not really the case here, and it's cheaper than the iPhone 12. You can pick this thing up for $599 brand new, or you can even go on Amazon and pick it up for even cheaper than that, which is another big deal. Now, there's some pros and cons for the iPhone 12 as well. Now, with the iPhone 12, you're getting a newer phone. If you have all the money in the world, I would recommend picking up this phone. I would recommend also picking up a MagSafe charger. You're getting a higher resolution display and a better display, even though it doesn't really seem like a crazy difference in my opinion, but I'm going to say the iPhone 12 has a better display, higher resolution, it's OLED, that's really, really awesome. The build quality is good too. Some people may prefer the flat size. I think it's a different look, and I actually would think it'll probably grow on me very soon. You have 5G on this device, you have that MagSafe capability on the back, tremendous cameras. I'll just say it's better than the iPhone 11, even though it's pretty close. but you're also missing some things. The battery life is a little bit lower on this device, which is pretty sad. And that's probably one area where I'm really, really, really upset about. I wish they did increase the battery size or at least keep it the same, but them like making it smaller, I said the same thing when they released the iPhone XS. It makes no sense for them to go and decrease the battery size, and they did it again. So I don't know what they're going to do there, but I think when it comes down to it, definitely if you have all the money in the world, like I stated, getting the iPhone 12 is the better way to go. But the iPhone 11 is still such a beautiful phone. They're both very good, but choice is yours. That's just kind of my opinion. This video, before me editing it, is like 20 something minutes long, which is wild, but I had a lot to say and I needed to get this out. So if you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.